Hello from the road in Mexico, my beautiful followers. It is Ravi. I've been sick for a few days, unfortunately. Recovering now, and it was after the very powerful session I did with Lynn for new decision therapy. I'm not going to lie, probably something that I had on the road, but it put me on my ass for about 5 days. But during that time, I've had a lot of time to reflect and really just crystallize some opinions and viewpoints that I'm going to share with you today. What we're seeing as I took the time to just reflect, just look at what's going on in the landscape and at some of the changes that I've seen in my own 5 year journey. I think we're seeing a time where we're in an environment of a really unprecedented level of polarization and division. And as I look around and see the experiences that other leaders in this space are having, and of course, I certainly know a lot of people in this space, and unlike a lot of these, I really lived and done this, which if you know my story, you already know that. And D, you know that too. But we're seeing a lot of changes, and things are different from how they used to be. And curiously enough, I'm here in Puerto Vallarta because I'm studying why this is, and I'm interested in meeting people who can give me the answers for that. And I did meet a really amazing person here called Jason Christoph, who's a mind control researcher, who was able to, through a lot of the things he's done and contributed in recent times, give me a lot of clarity in terms of what's happening in our culture and why people are having this division. So what Jason has done, and what I've learned from, he's produced a documentary called Planet Mind Control. I'll provide a link to it. I think you should watch it. And it's explaining how the conditioning effects of the modern media, and really all the media historically, is really engineered to pull people apart and to make us really negative. And what we're seeing now is we're in a time now where this negativity really affects people's relationships. That previously wasn't necessarily the experience we were having. I think in bygone generations, the conditioning was more about fear and keeping people stuck in their lives, but contributing, paying taxes, all that sort of thing. It seems like the conditioning now really wants to pull apart the family structure and depopulate and demoralize people, right, and just create this kind of separation. So Jason's documentary is incredible for that, and I spoke to him in person, thanked him and whatnot, and he gave me full permission to clip his content and share it, which I will be doing. And when I now took a few days of downtime to recover, because if I'm sick, I'm not much used to you, I took time to just really understand the climate and look at the kind of repetitive content that exists. And when I look at the kind of repetitive content that females are being fed, it is just completely negative and cynical. And it seems to be the case that the agenda and the overarching aim is to just create narcissism and to evoke narcissism and to create this completely unrealistic, ridiculous mentality and standard and sense of entitlement that, they're being conditioned to think this way, to be completely transactional and self-absorbed. And healthy relationships are not possible. And traditionally, men who've got any type of backbone don't really go for that. So that's really going to cause absolute chaos for them. And it's obviously not working for them. They're not having a good time. And then for males, it seems like the repetitive content is really oriented towards Looksmaxxing and pushing this agenda towards males to have to be physically perfect, okay, and to look like a male model. And these things, what you have to do as you navigate the world, you have to look at what most people are exposed to, what most people are doing, and you have to look at the trends of that and the impacts. If it's not positive and if it's not having a good result, then you don't want to follow that. And we can see the conditioning and the overarching trend is not good for any of us. In fact, it's the opposite. It's creating more. That's really nice. We've got a great view now. You can see the beach over there. It looks really great. So, what is the effect of this? What is the effect of these two trends that we're seeing? We're seeing like a orientation and a conditioning towards like female narcissism, and we're seeing a orientation and a conditioning push towards like male insecurity. Okay, that's what we're seeing. That's what the social engineers are doing. So again, what is the result of this? What's the outcome? What's it producing? It's producing division. It's producing impossibility to relate. Okay, because when your unconscious is fed this, yeah, then you feel resistance. You start to feel fear and tension. Okay, subconsciously and unconsciously. And once your body starts to feel that, right, we seek, once they've engineered fear, once your body and brain has been put in a fear state, the body and brain is evolved, and Jason's teachings has taught me so much about this. It's evolved, once you're in fear, to seek safety, to seek the safety specifically of the herd. So in a world of mind-generated fear and socially conditioned fear, the prefrontal cortex is turned off, shut off, rational thinking is immobilized, and then we go to the base animal instincts that cling to the tribe. So again, what are the conditioning effects being done at a level of tribal dynamics? For males, be very insecure and focus on looks, which is a shit strategy, which will not lead to long-term, happy, successful relationships. It won't, because you require skill for that. That requires depth, emotional ability, so on and so forth, right? And likewise, perfecto, muchas gracias. Okay. I'm just going to be served. That looks fantastic. Looks really good. Great. That's great. So I've just been served and they seem very excited about it. Bless them. But it looks good. So, to get back on the thread, then what we have to understand is this is being done at a like social level. This is being done more broadly and to everyone in society. The cool thing is, like, places like Mexico is a beautiful place to come to recover and to get your psychology back, because there is less of this conditioning here. These people are better, they're like more traditional, more accepting. They're like less conditioned people, and probably because they've already got like government skepticism, right? They already have like a distrust, so they don't follow that shit, and they follow their religion and their traditions. And you wake up in a lot of these non-Western societies. You get out of the groupthink, so you can actually restore your ability to socially relate. Anyway, because I've got my dinner here and I need to tuck in, I'm going to explain to you why I'm making this video, and it's this. This channel is not just it's a social mission. We're doing this to help people, men and women alike. Like, we're doing this ultimately to create healthy, happy relationships and to obviously create, families. We want to see a return to that. And we think that we're better together. We're divided if we're apart. Divided you fall. You got to know this shit. You have a more successful life with partnership. Okay? So what I can tell you as a man who's done this work for quite a long time, the practical advice I've got for you is you have to unplug from the repetitive content that creates division. You have to stop looking at it. You have to stop viewing it. You have to stop watching any type of negative content and reprogram. So advice that I would give you, if you want to look at content and improve yourself, look at high vibration content. Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Bob Proctor. These very high level, high consciousness beings. who think in abundance terms. You have to think and resonate at abundance terms because our culture is so low vibration. Not all cultures. This is a good culture. This is like a good religious country. They've got family values, and I like it. But if you're from the West, where I got brainwashed for 3 decades in England, and to get out of that, the repetitive content you consume must be extremely positive. And you have to understand, if you're watching this sort of like insane black pill negative stuff, it poisons you. And it creates resistance inside of you. And that resistance contributes to approach anxiety, contributes to giving up, demoralization, and just destroys your game. The actual solution to this problem, right, is you have to live the life of a social man and have sufficient game that you can pierce through the female conditioning and actually implant true embodied presence and show, I'm not a threat to you, I'm not a danger. You don't have to be separate from me. We can work together and collaborate. It's win-win. That was a great thing that my first mentor taught me, Andy. You got to think win-win to build good relations. And Andy knows a lot. He's good. Okay, and he's very positive, as I'm very positive. D is very positive. Now you're going to see me and D do more positive stuff. D is very spiritual now. His faith has really come strong to him. And that's helped all of us. But this is the mission we're on, man. The mission we're on is like, this shit is very fixable, but you have to understand the climate we're in means you have to operate differently. My practical advice to you, if you want to make progress, if you're male or female, you want to unplug from this shit. For the next 30 days, I want you to watch at least 1 hour of positive, repetitive content and get into abundance. Program your mind to resonate at that high frequency. Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Brian Tracy, Jim Rohn, that sort of old school extreme abundance thinking, because it's all high consciousness. Whereas the media of today is to destroy your consciousness, is to make you low vibration. So I'd say do that for 30 days. And not only that, but activate your intent to be social again. The apps are done. All online stuff, social media, it's all psyoped. It's now been infiltrated to just take you away from building relationships. You won't succeed. You got to put your intent to be back in the world and be social and talk to people every day, male, women, whatever. And if you regain that ability to connect, we can build relationships again and have incredible experiences again and heal from this very dark chapter of history where they've socially engineered relationships to not exist anymore because they want to depopulate the earth now, don't they? You've seen the Epstein files. You've seen what these fuckers who run the world are into. So what we're going to do, boys and girls, we fight back together. Remember, don't fall for the division. Don't fall for it. Yeah? Fight back one couple at a time, one healthy relationship at a time. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to have my dinner now, but yeah, look. Hope you enjoyed the video. And please subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to push this, man. And we're going to fight. One man and woman at a time, getting together, uniting, and building families together. Let's go. Please drop a comment below. Ask anything you want. Drop a like if you support this message. And subscribe so we can grow the reach and push this all the way and do what we have to do to install the skills in the modern person to succeed. Thank you. Speak again soon. Bye.